Hello, welcome to another video from me, the History Tutor. Today we're going to look at appeasement in detail and look at how it led to war with a write an account question. So as I said, we're going to look at the write an account question, which is question 3 on the AQA Conflict and Tension 1918-1939 topic. Now, appeasement can be a bit of a tricky topic, and particularly explaining the impacts of it and how it led to war can be a little bit tricky. So this hopefully will be useful to lots of you in your preparation for your exams. If you want to revise your knowledge beforehand, then do look over to my videos on the road to war, 1937-39 video, and look at that carefully, particularly the appeasement section. And we're going to go over and test your knowledge a little bit then. Now, a short quiz. Here is my short quiz. So 10 factual questions and a little bit of reasons why in there as well. So hopefully you've had a look back at your notes on the appeasement crisis, or maybe looked at my revision video and found out some of your key ideas. So pause the screen now and see what you can work out. All right, so here's my answers then. So give 2 reasons for appeasement. So we've got obviously fear of another major war, Britain and France not ready for war due to the Great Depression, fear of communism, no US support. So generally lots of reasons why Britain and the Allies felt weak and they needed to appease Hitler. Why did Hitler want Sudetenland? We've got 3.5 million German speakers. We've got natural resources like coal, areas of industry, glass manufacture. Also, the Sudetenland had all the border defences for Czechoslovakia, which would make invading the rest of Czechoslovakia very much easier. Who was leader of Britain during appeasement? Of course, you'll all know it's Chamberlain. Okay, there were 3 meetings. So when was the first meeting? 15th September 1938. Who was the Czech leader? Benz. When was the final meeting, the 3rd meeting? That's the 29th September 1938. And obviously the Nazis then took over Sudetenland the 1st of October 1938. Now, that's quite important to know some of those dates when you're looking at cartoons or sources to know exactly where it is in terms of the events. Obviously, if it's early September, there's a great fear of war. If it's early October, Chamberlain's a great hero. Okay. Obviously, question number 8, there were 3 meetings about Czech problem. And the final one was called the Munich Agreement, but it all failed, question 10, when Germany invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia in March 1933. So any cartoons or sources reflecting on appeasement from March 1933 might have a very negative view of it and suggest that it's a great big failure. So here is our write an account question, and we're going to write an account of how appeasement caused further international tension. I've already done the bit I've done in all my other videos for you, the bit where I cross out write an account and put the word explain. So therefore, we're explaining how appeasement caused further tension in Europe. So what would be in your success criteria? Again, we've been through lots of videos already. So if you're doing this in chronological order, you should have had a couple of topics on this already. So what do we need to do? Wow. We need to obviously explain 2 points for 8 marks. Use our appeal paragraphs to make our point. One way appeasement caused tension was, make an argument. Give some evidence that's nice and factual. Evidence of the event of appeasement, the thing that happened in appeasement. Then explain the impact. So it's like a story in the sense you're giving an event from the appeasement, then you're explaining the impact. How did other countries, other people feel about it? How did it cause tension? How did Russia react, Britain react, France react, etc.? Use your knowledge to explain at least one wide idea if you want to get into top bands. So furthermore, this led to Stalin thinking this, okay? Explain more widely. Think about a different person, different place, different time period. Okay, so let's give this a go, shall we? So we need to obviously have a think about this first. So how did appeasement cause tension? We need a bit of planning. Have a think. How can you think about appeasement causing tension? How did France feel, Britain feel, Russia feel? Germany, how did they start to react? How did it start to cause tension all these ways? Okay, you can pause and have a think if you like. Here's my ideas. So obviously appeasement gave Germany more time to build their army and they're more confident for war. So you could have the fact that there was 1 million soldiers by 1939 with 8,000 military aircraft. So German rearmament was very successful and they had more time to rearm, more resources. Appeasement weakened Czechoslovakia and made the invasion easier. So the borderlands with all the fortresses was handing over to the Germans. Another idea? It gave Hitler confidence that he could take more. He invaded Czechoslovakia in March 1939 and then wanted Poland. This led to the ultimatum for war. So essentially, when he took March 1939, the rest of Czechoslovakia, the world knew Hitler wasn't just breaking the Treaty of Versailles, he was empire building, and they were not going to let him take any more land. Appeasement was too trusting of Hitler, and it allowed him to do what he wanted, really. Appeasement weakened Czechoslovakia and made German invasion much easier. Okay. And of course, we can think about wider ideas to Russia or France being dismayed by it all. Okay. So how are we going to write this then? So we've seen this before again, of course. So make our point. One way appeasement caused international tension was, and we can make a point, was that it weakened Czechoslovakia, made war more inevitable later on. And then give some examples, then explain how that led to tension. Okay, so let's do this now and see what we can achieve. So have a think about what you're going to go for. So what was one way appeasement caused international tension? Was it the invasion of Czechoslovakia later on? Was it giving Hitler too much power and too much confidence? What would you say? Right, so here's the argument I've gone for, and then we can work through this one together if you like. So it weakened Czechoslovakia and made the conquest of the East much easier for Hitler. So again, we've got that theme of pushing eastwards. Hitler wants his Lebensraum, we wanted land in the East. This is the thing Stalin's really worried about, and Russia's really worried about. And this caused tension in Europe at this time. So let's work through this one. You can pause and work with me and sort of write a paragraph with me in your revision guide or using paper. And if not doing that, you can just watch me go through the answer. So pause now and think about some evidence from the appeasement events that would back this up for you. All right, so here's what I've gone for. Obviously, trying to include a few facts in there as well. So, for example, Chamberlain agreed with the Munich conference to allow Hitler, Germany, to take the staking land from Czechoslovakia. So, it was just freely able to take a large parcel of land. Here you go, you can have that. Okay, this caused further tension because now, what's maybe the short-term impact of this in the sort of Hitler's conquest? What would you explain was the impact of this in causing tension? Right, so here's what I've gone for. This caused further tension, gave Germany the frontier defence of the Czechs and made the invasion of Czechoslovakia in March 1939 a lot easier. This then created tension as it was clear that appeasement had failed and Hitler wanted to aggressively conquer other lands. So there we go. Hitler is now an aggressive empire builder, and that we've explained how that's causing tension. Okay, we should now really link to Russia. Furthermore, Russia starts to react. How are Russia feeling about this? Okay. What would you say? So furthermore, it caused tension as Stalin's Russia became concerned that Germany was being pushed eastwards towards Russia. Stalin had then abandoned negotiations with France and Britain for an alliance and instead signed the Nazi-Soviet pact. This made war inevitable and Germany could easily invade Poland. Yeah, so obviously we need to tie in the Nazi-Soviet pact. So after March 1939, Hitler wants to get Poland now and end that Polish corridor that's splitting East and West Prussia and bring Germany back together. Obviously, the Allies are going to say no because they don't trust Hitler anymore. And there's an ultimatum for war. Hitler does not want a two-front war, does he? He wants a one-front war in the West if he's going to go toward France and Britain. But obviously, if he invaded Poland, he might get Russia invading as well. So signs the Nazi-Soviet pact to ensure that one-front war. Now, you don't need to explain all that in this particular question. The examiner will assume you've got great understanding if you wrote this, that you just tie in Nazi-Soviet pact beautifully into your answer. You'll be seen as somebody who really understands what they're talking about. Okay, so what about a second paragraph then? So you could now think about obviously how this split the French and British as allies, or gave Hitler greater confidence to do what he wanted, and then he will, of course, then be confident that he can defeat the Allies, sign the Nazi-Soviet pact, and go to war. All right, have a think what you'd answer. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful. Appeasement could be a tricky topic, so hopefully it gives you some ideas of why it caused further tension, how it failed in terms of like the invasion in March 1939, and you feel a bit more confident with your writing account skills, which again, it's quite a tricky question. Do look out for more videos, but otherwise, bye-bye for now.